Wanted him to get a good look at them when they come back over here. Can you see him going through the water, Mommy? Hungry, hungry otters. Hey! Can you get take off again? Daddy's running with the wolves.
Yeah, he got bored with it.
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Wolf. And they're gorgeous. Look at him, Matthew. Isn't he pretty? He's a big wolf. It's a big wolf, too. The beauty of western North Carolina. And we're inside Asheville. It's the Western North Carolina Nature Center.
They supposedly have a lot of trails around here.
Yeah.
Inside Asheville.
And the road and a parking lot. But on this side, all forest. How do you think about it? We saw timber wolves. Now we're looking for red wolves. See if we can find a red wolf. Oh, they have little wolf houses. They might be in their little wolf houses. There's our friend Mr. Wolf.
Yeah, Zebra looked like kind of a larger version of that.
Might
Could
be
just
Mrs.
he's
Wolf.
further away. Could be.
I think that might be Mrs. Wolf.
Kind of looks like a female, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about what Zebo looked like, but just kind of like fuller, bigger.
Here's Mr. Gray Fox. think Mr. Raccoon lives here.
It said their raccoon is currently receiving medical attention for her head.
It's called a nictitating membrane. And for these guys, it works a lot like built-in swimming goggles. It actually allows them to see their prey underwater. When the water's a bit more murky, if you've ever been here in the mountains after a rainstorm and seen when our rivers turn the consistency of chocolate milk, river otters can still actually hunt in those conditions, but they use their whiskers to feel for their food. And then, of course, like many other predators, they do have a mouthful of very, very, very sharp teeth. These animals can be found living throughout the state of North Carolina in the wild, and that is their natural range. There was a time in a relatively recent history when we didn't have otters here in the mountains. That was from about the 1930s until as recently as the 1990s. And it wasn't because they weren't supposed to be here. It was because river otters had been hunted very extensively in the late 1800s and early 1900s, mostly for their fur. These guys have a super thick, super soft fur, at least so I hear. And it was for this fur that they were hunted. And so it wasn't until as recently as the 1990s when Wildlife Resources Commission, which is our state agency that manages wildlife, they've reintroduced otters back to the western portion of the state, and they're now throughout our entire region. That being said, you would still be lucky to get to see a river otter in the wild here in western North Carolina. They're naturally very shy creatures. They like to keep to themselves. They really want nothing to do with us when we're out boating, fishing, playing on the waterways. But if you hung around this habitat for any length of time and saw the dancing otters before the meeting started, you will notice that that's not the case for all of Menominee. And that's really, in short, why these guys are here. It's one of the questions we often get here at the Nature Center is where do your animals come from? And for us, every animal that we have has its own unique story. With these two in particular, Olive is the smaller, darker otter. She's the one on the rocks here who's sticking close.
We're gonna go see life on the farm. Look, Matthew, here's another goat for you. Look at him playing. How many white-tailed deer have you seen in your life, Mother?
I'd hate to know it.